Hey, Opus, welcome to the stream, bud. How you doing today? Yo! What's happening, man? How's your day? And bang, greetings. How's it going, bud? I am doing all right so far, thank you. Just a long, tedious day at work. Come home, and here I am. How about you? Do anything fun and exciting today? Brother Afik, greetings. Welcome to the stream. How's it going?
Just work lull.
How's the job going? Thank you. Afik, how's your job going too? Everybody's getting new job. It's good, yes. I don't know what this was about, but Mama V, greetings and welcome to the stream. How you doing tonight? Oh. All right. So last night I saved right before the, I think it's like final battle of the prelude, intro, whatever. So hopefully everybody can enjoy. Still say this song reminds me of like Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, specific.
I had 50 milligrams her.
Ooh, I'm jelly. I would love any milligrams. I'm so lonely without it. It's been 15 years. Aw, bitch.
Hey, only going to stay for a little. Have work early.
Oh, I gotcha. How are you liking the new job? Shit, really, everybody has got new jobs. Shit. How are you liking the new job, V?
Civilian life.
Yeah? How's it treating you? You already getting sassy and fat and enjoying yourself now?
I don't like it.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you learn to just enjoy the peace and quiet and let yourself be peaceful and grow. Woo!
Simply amazing,
It's good law.
Roxas.
Good. I apologize. Which one did you end up taking?
This time.
Which job was it?
I'm so flattered. But you're too late.
I'm just saying, Axel over here. Hell yeah. Chaps, greetings. Welcome to the stream, bud. How's it going? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Avik.
Come here. I'll make it.
But, I mean, I guess if it doesn't make you happy, it doesn't make you happy.
Simple as his job. Done want to push anything with my finger just yet.
Oh, I gotcha.
That sort of light changes you.
I believe it. The hell? Why is that no longer counter?
Still hurts to write.
Ooh, I bet. Well, I guess you gotta exercise your fingers a little bit more.
I need my adrenaline rush.
Right?
Wing, wing.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Say them all. Oh my gosh. You just cancel my potion? You bitch. Quit canceling my potions. Stephen Maxwell, greetings.
And Carrier Fanagor.
Is that tight? Oh, I totally used it.
More Ope Angolo.
I'm doing the best I can.
Well, that's alright. I hope it's going alright for you so far, at least. Everybody. Because, again, literally, all three of you guys got a new job recently.
Romanelga.
Hmm. Is that a relative of Ra's al Ghul?
You get on their bad side and they'll destroy you.
No one would miss me.
I'm clearly not speaking English well.
Hmm.
That's not true.
Exactly.
I would.
Oh. Axel. Poor baby Ginger.
Axel.
Let's meet again in the next life.
Yeah, I'll be waiting.
I'm speaking D's.
Silly.
He's nut.
Just because you have a next life.
Ashen Dad and Jody, greetings. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Flamingo Biscuit, greetings. Welcome to the stream. How's it going, bud? I Ixbay Atlay.
Take off your hat.
Donald.
Please, gotta take me to dinner before I start taking it off.
Afraid.
Can't imagine what for. Look, it's Jizz. I mean,
At
is.
last, the Keyblade's chosen one.
Who are you talking to?
Your mom.
Me? Or Sora?
I've been listening to see
half
Fry
of
Shoes
Sora,
and
of
plotting
course.
like a mastermind.
Der
You
Asterisk.
reside in darkness.
Gotcha.
What I need is someone who
Wes
can
Cook,
move
greetings.
about
Welcome to the stream. How's it going, bud?
and destroy Organization 13.
Why? Who are you?
I am a servant of the world.
Oh, he's nobody. Don't worry about it.
And if I'm a servant, then you should consider yourself a tool at best.
Was that
It's not the first time I've been told that.
supposed to be a joke? 'Cause I'm not laughing.
My
My
grandfather looked at
apologies.
me like I was crazy
This is
when I
only a
repeated the entire
data-based
song in perfect
projection.
German.
Look, girl, you a nasty bastard. Yes, because obviously the first 3 hits didn't hit. The next 10 will.
Come, over here.
ICH gut.
Ich gut.
I hate you so much.
You should share some of that hatred with Sora. He's far too nice for his own good.
No! My heart belongs to me! Sora.
Yeah, I definitely liked Roxas'
You're lucky.
look a lot better than Sora.
Looks like my summer vacation is over.
Oh. Hooray!
Why Wardyne tag?
No. It kind of blows my mind how willing Roxas just goes straight to his own potential demise. Hey, Nova, welcome to the stream, bud. How's it going? Oh boy, it's King Mickey, haha.
Sora,
Yimsworth thy phrase.
who's there?
Sora?
Ora. Haha.
Dinner.
Gesundheit. I think your clothes shrunk a little bit there, bud.
I'm speaking German.
Donald!
Are you?
Goofy!
Never would have guessed.
That was some nap.
Nein, verstehen Sie Deutsch.
You were asleep?
Phoenix Odyssey, greetings, welcome to the stream. How you doing today?
He'd be so rousing. When do you think we went to sleep?
Let's see. We defeated Ansem,
Hey, thank you for the likes.
restored peace to the world,
Doing
Found
okay.
Good, glad to hear it.
and then we went to look for Riku.
Anything fun and exciting going on for you today?
So far.
What does your journal say, Jiminy? Gee, there's only one sentence. Thank nominate.
Dad Day, but we keep
I
calling.
wonder who
Oh,
that is.
sorry to hear that.
Thumb!
I hope things get better for you tonight and tomorrow.
Well, what do you say we find out where we are?
Thank y'all.
Or, for what little it's worth. I hope he gets better.
How was your day?
It's alright. Long, tedious, and busy. And I came home. And now I'm here. Feel better now, I suppose.
Goofy can get D's.
Mm-hmm. Yo.
I get ya.
Oop, be bad.
I plotted how I was going to eat an apple. Weirdest plot ever.
Have an
Yeah,
amazing
agreed.
night.
Right on, Phoenix. Thank you for
Hi.
stopping by. I hope you have a great one. And hey, Fruit Bats, how's it going? How you doing tonight, man?
I'm good.
Good. Glad to hear it, bud. Anything fun and exciting going on for you today?
It took me 2 hours of plotting to decide that I was going to make it into a candy apple.
Hell yeah. Those are good. I definitely do
I'm
not
thinking about
mind
doing a new
those.
cosplay.
Ooh, what you thinking about this time? Gosh.
Jew.
New plates
You know,
came in. I meant.
think I've been to this town.
Mm-hmm. Nightfall Fighter. Damn. Welcome back. It's been a while, bud.
Character from the
How
Wizard
you
of
been, man?
Oz.
Guess I must have imagined.
What
it.
up? It's been a while.
Indeed it has. What have you been up to, bud? And Fruit Bats. That's an interesting idea. Let me guess, you're going as the doorman to the Emerald City.
Just life, working, and stuff.
Ah, I hear you there, Nightfall. Honestly, about the same. Just work, home, kids,
What do
stream,
you want?
go to bed, rinse and repeat.
Nothing. Just wondering what was back here. Now you know. This is our spot.
That's my spa.
What? You're new around here, right? I'm Pence. Hayner, nice to meet you. But we got stuff to do.
Been
Catch you later.
doing anything fun as far as after work stuff?
Hey, did you
Any
finish
new
up the
games or anything you're playing?
Independent studies are the worst, huh?
Homework? Hey, what are your names?
The Scarecrow and probably the Tin Man.
Sora, Donald,
Interesting.
and Goofy.
Hey there.
Hopefully you don't follow in suit for what was it, Buddy Ebsen, the original Tin Man,
You just met someone
who
was
ended up,
looking for you.
getting super sick from the
Sure
paint.
seemed in a hurry.
Hey, brother, thank you for the Rosa and finger hearts, man. I appreciate it.
Working on my car every now and then.
Big round ears.
Here's a shekel to your name.
Ah, thank you. I love having shekels to my name. It makes life worth living.
See 'em. At the station. The station.
What kind of car are you working on? I think
Well,
I asked before, but it's been a while. I don't honestly remember.
Later.
boy, the kid's trying to find us.
Yeah, let's get to the station.
Oh my gosh, not that one.
I have a 2000 to GMC Envlo cell. It's not new or in good shape, but it gets the job done.
Hell yeah.
I think I will use paint. I'm not sure how to use that.
Oh, thank you, Afik, for the Super GG and the GGs. Much obliged, bud. And thank you.
Meow.
Hey, nothing wrong with an old car so long as it works. I've got a fucking 2016 Hyundai Tucson, and that piece of shit. I've had to replace the engine twice, the transmission once, the AC's out because of the, the door actuator or something like that that switches it from hot to cold. So it doesn't work 90% of the time. I'm never getting a Hyundai again, I can tell you that much. GMCs are pretty good, and at least Envoy is relatively big, too. And no paint. Okay. How do you think you'll do the, are you going to do any coloring for the Tin Man?
I like it. I've only had to replace the alternator and the passenger side front end. Still doing it.
Damn, that's not bad for a 2002. Hell yeah.
It has 300,000 miles so far.
Shit. Hey, thank you for the paper crane, Aphic. That's awesome. Thank you, man. And the dolphins. Fuck. Much obliged, and Rose. Oh, there's the Pokemon's music again.
I might use a little bit of silver eyeshadow under my eyes and on my nose.
That'd be cool. Yay! More AP! I just love more AP. Yeah. So are there ways to, because I don't know shit about automobiles, are there ways to increase the gas mileage potential? Star Wars Kid 1, greetings. Welcome to the stream, man. How you doing tonight? Ooh, if they ever make a new Kingdom Hearts 4, they should make a Star Wars level. That'd be cool. Nate, greetings and welcome to the stream. How's it going? Yeah, rude. I gotcha.
I am going to go to bed. I have work tomorrow. Will you be live tomorrow?
Yep. As far as I know, I should be live tomorrow. Unless, I die in a car accident or something awesome like that. But so far, I should be live. But hey, good luck at work. Have a great night, and I appreciate you stopping by, man. Oh boy!
You gotta board the train and leave town. The train knows the way. Here.
Your Majesty.
I bid for a car that has 300,000 miles. Its top speed is 45 LMAO.
It could have.
Oh, jeez.
Yep, I know it was.
It was 0 to 60 in 2.3 minutes.
Yo, Kingdom Hearts, dope.
The king was
Hey, Crimson, welcome back to the stream. How's it going, bud?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2. Just about to finish the intro, prelude, whatever.
Riku's here.
Just started it last night, so.
I'm gonna go look for Riku. Then he and I can go back to the islands together. Kairi's there waiting for us. What are you two gonna do?
Oh. Of course, Sora. You have to ask.
Hey, what's so funny?
Your face.
I forgot how cringy the Disney aspect was to this game. It's been a long time.
Currently running on the back brakes. My front calipers went out, so I just plugged them for now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's safe, right? What could go wrong?
Come on.
Severus Snape, greetings and welcome to the street.
I just hope I don't need to make any stops quickly, LMAO.
Mm-hmm. At this rate, you better carry an anchor with you and just toss it out the window.
Wait up!
Huh?
Hey, Sora?
What?
Nothing, but...
We came to see you
Yep,
off.
it might slow me
just
down faster,
seemed
lol.
like something we ought to do. Oh. Really? Thanks.
Oh shit, I gotta turn right. Throw it out the window around a pole. Hold on to it.
You should hurry and get your tickets.
Right.
Huh?
They're the same.
Yeah.
Three tickets, please.
The stop sign on accident and got pulled over and had a fun time explaining why I did lol.
Ooh, oops. You end up getting cited?
Can't help feeling
You should get out of
we
it.
won't see this town again.
Why not? You're thinking too much.
Yeah, you're right.
I was like, car, don't stop fast, and he just gave me a verbal warning.
Oh, that's good at least. Holden Two Dicks. Greetings. Welcome to the stream. Swords over here like, who wears short shorts? I wear short shorts.
JKJK.
Mm-hmm. That's not what I heard.
Oh shit, he found out LMAO.
Yeah, I saw the videos, man. You're in trouble. I'm calling you mom. Yeah, that's right. I went there. Not for anything weird either. I'm just gonna tell her.
Oh man, don't do it.
Oh, I'll do it. Don't you tempt me. Greetings and welcome to the stream. How's it going, bud?
I swear my hand only slipped once LMAO.
Once it looked like at least 5 or 6 dozen times, you know. I'm just saying. But hey, maybe I'm just jealous, you know. Never know. It's in the right train. What do you mean it's not? Oh,
Well,
I mean the train that looks like.
Caught in 4K, I guess, LMAO.
It happens. Yeah, I try not to judge too much. Nemiverse, greetings and welcome to the stream.
Okay, let's go.
Moist Donkey, greetings. Welcome to the stream, bud. How you doing?
Sora? You sure we haven't met before?
Positive. Why do you ask?
I don't know.
Oh, look, it's a pussy.
Huh?
Oh, wait, I probably shouldn't say that on stream. My bad.
Don't know where it came from.
Pull it together.
Right. See ya.
Mr. What's-It, greetings and welcome to the stream. How you doing today, bud? Anything fun and exciting going on for you, What's-It? Severus Snipe, welcome back. And all these people with interesting names and nobody hangs out. Goose Wizard, greetings, welcome to the stream. How's it going? A honk to you too, sir. And or madam. LTS Tasmanian Devil, greetings. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Goose Wizard, how was your day? Fabulous, I hope. Jack Mar, greetings and welcome. How you doing today? Tonight, I guess. But saying today, it's tonight. Unless it's not.
Good so far and yourself.
I'm doing all right. Just reliving some nostalgia here, playing some Kingdom Hearts 2. Just started last night and just getting out of the intro, whatever it's called.
Sad.
But not too bad. Just long day at work, and now here I am.
I miss playing the first one on my PS2.
Yeah, same. I have it, or I had it. I don't know where it went, though.
Kingdom Hearts 2 was the best. Wish 3 was more like it.
Yeah, I played a little bit of 3, but not a whole lot. Well, yeah, here I am on my PS2 with my guest remote, and yeah, just vibing, you know? It's been a long time since I played this. We'll see how well I continue. Again, I still say Sora's over here like, who wears short shorts? I wear short shorts.
I might have to buy a new PS2. I kinda sold mine a long time ago.
Dude, I've had like 5 PS2s, and I've sold them and then rebought them every time. So finally, I just got the crappy old Slim. I missed the Fat Boy, but I got the Slim, and I figured I'll try to keep that one. Yeah, 3... I never got that far in 3, so I couldn't speak to how short it is, but I just commented to somebody else, I wish they would have included, like, Star Wars or something in it, since that's, you know, a Disney IP now. It probably would have been awful, but it also would have been bizarre and hopefully kind of cool at the same time. Get your fat ass over here right now.
I sent some of my lackeys inside to see if the master in this here tower's as big and tough as they say. Word is he's a real powerful sorcerer.
I had the original PS2, then sold it a few years back.
Ooh.
See, it don't matter how tough he is. Once he's a heartless, he'll do as I say.
Yeah, I missed my old... That was my first PlayStation 2, was the Fat Boy.
Things that come out of the darkness in folks' hearts. Why, with all those heartless at her side, my dear friend Maleficent is gonna conquer everything. And since I got me a debt to pay, I'm going round to a bunch of different worlds and building an army of heartless, special for her.
Oh, how thoughtful.
Why am I talking to you pipsqueaks anyway? Go on, Scram, I'm behind schedule as it is.
You ought to find something nicer to do.
Oh, says who? Huh? Oh, it's you!
Pete?
What are you two
Just figure that out.
doing here?
What are you doing here?
You know
We
him?
have some PS2
We
game
sure
discs,
do.
this game included.
Pete's been causing
Hell
trouble
yeah.
for ages. His Majesty
Only got a
vanished into
couple
another
left
dimension
myself.
a long time ago.
I need to get back to it and
Wonder
collect
how
some
he
more.
escaped.
You want to know how, eh? Well, Maleficent busted me out, that's how. And now
What are some of your favorite PS2 games?
all the worlds are gonna belong
Both
to
of you guys.
truly. 'Cause Maleficent's gonna
Afik, are you still in here?
Maleficent, huh?
Oh no, V. Do you still have any PS2 games, or do you have a PS2, V?
Why, Maleficent's power is so great that
Monster Rancher was one.
Sorry, but
Monster
Maleficent
Rancher.
can't
I
help
don't think
you
I played
now.
that one.
What do you mean? You! So you're the ones that did it!
Well, we might have had something to do with it.
I have 3 totes of PS3 and none of PS2, sadly.
Heartless Squad, round up!
Yeah, I had a PS3 for a short term, but right after PS2 is when I switched over to Xbox. So, short-lived for PlayStation.
My favorite has to be God of War.
Oh, nice.
You had to use random CDs in Monster Rancher to get new monsters.
Oh. Like, literal CDs? Like music CDs? In Nightfall, actually, one of my friends is streaming God of War 3 right now. Haunted Games House.
Messes with the mighty Pete.
That's kind of cool.
So, Mighty Pete. Who lives in this tower anyway?
El 211. Como está usted?
Well, it's old Yen Sid. Of course, he's probably a heartless by now.
Master Jensen lives here?
Of course, Donald's over here fanboying.
Yen Sid is the king's teacher.
Shoot toenails. Greetings. Welcome to the stream. That is a horrific username. How's it going, Mud? Props to you.
They used the fact you could remove game discs and still play the game to do it.
I'll be honest, I didn't even know that was a thing. That is really cool, though. So aside from the playing discs to collect monsters, what all did you do in the game? Oh yes, a dark shard. That's what I collected, my favorite item.
Raise, collect monsters, and fight.
Gotcha. I don't know why I pictured it being like a Harvest Moon-esque game. Onward and upward.
There was one where you were part of a traveling circus.
Really? I feel like I missed all the good, interesting games. Ah. I just kind of played games like this, Spider-Man, Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, those kind of games. Yeah. Yeah.
Ratchet,
Ratchet and Clank series were another favorite.
Oh, agreed.
Greetings, everyone.
I miss and love the old Ratchet and Clank. Hey, Dova, greetings. Welcome to the stream, bud. How you doing tonight? Rude. Rude. What it? What? Dova, what you been up to today, bud?
Well, it's a good thing we're
Up Your
on the
Arsenal and
job
Dreadlock
then.
were my faves of the series.
So the worlds aren't at
Played
peace
up your
after all.
Arsenal a little bit, but I don't think I ever played Dreadlock. Huh. I think, honestly, I played the first and second one a lot, and then Up Your Arsenal just a little. That was about it. All right. Oh. Yay, 1 money. Hey, thank you for the share, Dova. Much obliged, bud. Them eyes.
Master Jensen, excellent honor.
Hey there.
Sure, show some respect.
I hope y'all are having a good night and had a wonderful day.
Oh, definitely a good night. It was a day. Thank you for the heart, me bud.
Have you seen the king yet?
Much obliged, sir.
Yes, we did, Master, but we didn't get a chance to talk to him.
Yes, the king has been quite busy of late.
Eagle, greetings and welcome to the stream. How you doing?
The task of instructing you three falls upon my shoulders. You have a perilous journey ahead of you. You must be well prepared.
You mean we have to go on another quest? I was looking forward to finding my friend Riku, so we could go back to the islands.
Yes, I know. However,
We'll never go back.
everything in your journey, Sora, is connected. Whether you will find your way home to the island.
See, this would have been the perfect opportunity to do like a character creation type thing, or at least pick your color scheme. You know?
Whether or not the island.
I am all right. Worked all day. Came home and slept.
Hey, me too. That's actually exactly what I did. Really?
There was only
Cat,
one side mission I
you're
could
gonna
never
park
beat in
right
this
in front of
game,
my
one of the
screen.
gummy ship ones.
Ooh, yeah. I forgot about the gummy ships. There was one of them that... actually, yeah, there's one of the missions that I could not get past either. I wonder if that was the same.
Still tired.
Dude, I like passed out from 5 until like 7:45. Hey, thank you for the rose, man. Man, I don't remember much about the gummy chip things. I just remember I thought the name was stupid. But it's been that long since I played.
Valuable knowledge you will need for your journey. Study it carefully. Once you have finished, we will speak of the enemies you will surely confront.
Yeah, I didn't even go to my clients. I was done for the day.
Yeah. Hear ya. I've definitely had days like that as well. I hope you feel better after sleeping a little bit at least. Oh no, it's a whole cutscene. Damn it. I thought it was just gonna... Oh, never mind. This is exactly what I thought it was going to be. Have to read this? Interlude. Ooh, entrust your body to the soothing waves of memory.
I must take my leave, my friend, and I'm working on your stream key.
Oh, right on, bud. I appreciate it. And thank you for stopping by, too. I hope you have a great night. And take it easy, and I hope you have a better day tomorrow. Or at least a less tiring day tomorrow. Oh boy. Got a map of a tower, which is just a fucking circle.
The info. I just haven't done it yet, unfortunately.
Oh, no worries, man.
Apologies.
You are good. No worries at all. I mean, obviously, I've got it to, work for the most part right now, so not a huge concern or anything. Just kind of a convenience. So, not a big deal. You again, or... Dylan, greetings and welcome to the stream, bud. How you doing?
Heartless are still running around.
Your past endeavors did prevent an immense effusion of
He'll
Heartless
get it for you.
from
Have
the
a
great
wonderful
darkness.
stream and a good
Make
day
no
tomorrow.
mistake about
Stay
that.
awesome.
However, the Heartless are darkness.
Right on. Have a good one, bud.
And
Take it easy.
yet lingers in every heart. The Heartless are fewer, but while darkness exists in a single heart, it will be difficult to eliminate.
Hi, Mama B. Good night, ma'am.
Gorge, that must mean if everybody's heart was full of light, them heartless would go away.
Now, it is time to speak of the enemies that you will encounter.
Hey, right on. Thank you, man. Take it easy, bud.
If one such as you, Donald, yields to the darkness,
Salam, welcome to the stream. How's it going?
you will become.
Dun dun dun.
But you know this. The Heartless are always lurking and ever seeking to capture new hearts. Never let your guard down. Now then. At times, if someone with a strong heart and will, be they evil or good, becomes a Heartless, the empty shell they leave behind begins to act with a will of its own. An empty vessel whose heart has been stolen away. A spirit that goes on even as its body fades from existence. For you see, no bodies do not truly exist at all.
No bodies.
No bodies may seem to have feelings, but this is a ruse. They only
A ruse?
pretend to have hearts. You
It's
must
a ruse.
not be deceived.
No bodies. They don't exist.
Now then, the being you see before you is known as a dusk. They are the most common form of no body.
I mean, it looks like they've got a body.
Some
Saying.
larger, some with frightening and unique powers. Be vigilant. On your journey, you will meet an alarming number of dusks. They will all attempt to do you harm. Still, they are nothing but empty shells, destined to return to darkness. But
He said but.
The beings you see before you now are different.
What?
These
You're black?
powerful
That's
nobodies
racist.
have formed a group called
Piece of
Organization
shit,
13.
Yensid.
It commands the lesser
Oh, his new Yensid was racist.
Organization 13.
Raven, greetings and welcome to the stream. How's it going, bud? Long time no see.
Bodies function in a higher manner. They can think and plan, and it seems they are working towards a goal. What that goal is, we do not know. The king sensed the danger and journeyed
Lone
forth
Trooper, what's
to
happening,
fight
bud?
it.
Welcome to the stream.
He found the Dark
Look at
Realm's
that handsome face
Keyblade,
wall.
and with it closed the door.
Rosie, you hear that?
Now he's traveling from
Rosie,
world to
he
world,
called you handsome.
fighting the Heartless as he seeks the answer to the
Thank you.
riddle of the
How you doing tonight, bud?
and Organization 13.
Then I guess we better
I
go
am
find
happy.
the king first.
Happy? Oh, I'm definitely glad to hear that.
Well, we won't know till we look.
Something good happened for you today.
And the king must know where Riku is, because the two of them were together in the realm of darkness when we closed the door. You know, after defeating
And this
Ansel.
one Minecraft server with
So,
this one mod, I
before
can
you
have
go,
bodyguards.
You will need more suitable
Oh, that's
traveling
cool.
clothes. Those look a bit too small for you.
Sora's over here.
Go there.
Who wears
Find
short
3
shorts?
good
I
friends.
wear short
If you
shorts.
ask, they'll create for you appropriate garments.
Gosh, Sora, you sure are growing fast.
I guess.
Really growing fast. It's only been like, what, 2 years, 3 years? You know, no, I don't want to read it. Got time for that. Thanks.
I have
Prosh-
2 deserters and 1 healer as my bodyguards.
Nice. It makes me think of Onan Exiles. Where you can do something similar.
Never
He
mind
was
the
a
backside shoes they
fairy.
got.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say. The bigger the shoes.
Me, you guys, Riku, and the king. I don't care who.
That's why it's always terrifying to look up Rule 34 Kingdom
The
Hearts.
5 of us, I mean, 6 of us. There's nothing to worry about, right?
BRB.
Right on.
Same but clowns.
Indeed. Yes, please, Madam Fairy, strip me and then clothe me.
Well, look who's here, dears. Sora, Donald, and Goofy.
Oh, if you're looking for clothes, you've come to the right place. I'll do the designing. Oh, that will never do.
Faces are just so devoid of
Now, dears.
life.
But don't you like this better?
Hold on.
Are you certain? Blue.
He's just over here like, ladies, calm yourselves.
Would you just decide?
Oh, well.
All right, then. Together now, dears. And no more squabbling.
Corgo, greetings. Welcome to the stream. How's it going?
Oh, my.
Oh, it's lovely. Oh, yes. He does look very dashing.
Now, those aren't ordinary garments.
They have very special powers. Take the orb, dear. And watch.
Orgo, what you been up to today? That was always one of my favorite Keyblades.
This journey's going to be twice as difficult as your last.
Your garments also have other powers, but you'll have to discover what they are as you continue on your journey.
Okay,
I always said clothes make a man.
Oh, and there's something else for you from Master Yen said.
Guess they were serious. Oh boy. Mithril.
Heartless form was peak.
Agreed. I thought that was badass. Stupidest looking ship on the face of the multiverse.
So you guys ready to go?
Now, just a moment. Because of your previous endeavors, the worlds have returned to their original states. That means the pathways between them have disappeared.
Oh yeah, we need to extend game.
Do not fear. If what the king suspected proves true, the worlds have prepared new pathways along which you may travel. These pathways may be utilized by unlocking special gates.
My mama says I'm special.
How these gates are opened, I'm afraid I do not know.
Gee, I wonder if the lock is opened by a key.
Will serve as your guide. When a beam of light radiates from the Keyblade, return to the gummy ship. Though the worlds may seem far apart and out.
Amy, greetings and welcome to the stream. How you doing today? Appreciate you coming by.
As do our hearts.
Our hearts are connected.
That is correct.
Got it.
Is it now?
But be warned. As you proceed, the Heartless and the Nobodies will be using their own paths. Corridors of darkness to travel from world to world. They may be attempting to link these dark pathways to the gates between the worlds.
Oh, by the way, Goose Wizard. Speaking of Peak, have you ever played Peak on the PC?
Go forth, Sora.
I just got it the other day, but I have not played it yet. And I know it's supposed to be mainly like a multiplayer game.
Let's get going.
I'm looking for, I don't know, something to set up. Turns out he was heartless all along.
My goodness, what's that?
It's my day. If I had a quarter. Degenerate. Hey, perfect timing. Degenerate 702, greetings and welcome to the stream, bud. How you doing?
Haven't we seen this somewhere before?
Yes, that's a bird, ma'am. You probably see those pretty frequently.
I mustn't remember her name.
She was a mean old witch.
That mean old son of a witch.
The memories are coming back. What'll we do? Oh.
That's what most of us do to kill the memories. Martin, greetings. Welcome to the stream, bud. How you doing today? Martin the Warrior? By any chance?
Perhaps we should tell Master Yen Sid.
Yes, that's what we must do.
Mm.
Hurry.
Malefica. He looks horny. That laugh hits me right here. Gets me going, let me tell you.
Howdy, Sora. How you doing?
Oh shit, I forgot Chip and Dale were in this.
It's your favorite gummy engineers here, ready for...
Look at this handsome man wall.
Hell yeah. So, Clone, what have you been up to today, man? I know you said you've been having a better day today. And LDS Viking, greetings. Welcome to the stream. JC, welcome, welcome.
Only one?
Nothing much.
That's what she said. Both of them. Only one and what you said, Clone.
Wait, I think it's a world we know.
Is it Traverse Town? Or Traverse Town? Oh, Hollow Bastion. Get ready to hear that song for the next 45 minutes. Whereas, I can't remember the word.
Maleficent.
Remember, insert Spanish for sleeping.
Maybe they really did finish her off.
Oh yeah, she finished.
Ooh, this castle sure ain't what I expected. No shine, no nothing.
I can request join as a guest.
Oh, now what's
I don't even know how to do anything with that.
If you accept, I join your live stream.
Ooh. By the way, out of curiosity, you can't hear me chewing my food, can you?
It's Hollow Bastion.
Gorsh, looks kind of different now.
I would be
But
totally
if you don't have
distraught.
the live stream set up correctly, it can mess up everything, I think.
Gotcha. As far as I know, I don't have anything set up, so probably.
Oh, looks like we're gonna have to do some fighting.
Your setup thing, whatever it's called.
Gotcha. A military.
Sorry, I don't know the name.
You're good. Like, me out? Or is it a different name? Hammer. Adamant shield. Yeah. Check.
whenever you co-host, if a person joins, you become slightly smaller.
Oh, really? I thought that only happened when I got really cold. If you, take my meaning.
Zeus.
Indeed. Hey, it's David Tennant. I mean, Scrooge McDuck.
I question who I work with, lol.
Me too. Chai, or Kai, greetings and welcome to the stream. How you doing today, bud? Why, isn't it Donald and Goofy? Hello, lads.
I have to deal with your goofy stuff, lol.
Mm-hmm. My friend, I am heckin' Goofy. Oh wait, that's him up there. That's... Or wait, hang on. I can't even see my camera. Is that mirrored? There we go. That's Goofy.
Same thing
There
for
he is.
Guy 1X.
Yeah, I hear ya. Spare change, greetings and welcome to the stream, bud. How you doing? Windows messed up. Here. I'd make millions if I just got it right.
Guy 1X is a little bit more difficult to deal with it sometimes.
I was gonna say, he seems like I've got. Here's my ADD. Here's his ADD. Like he goes crazy in a good way. Sometimes. He's that high energy jumping around ADD, and I just can't focus.
Hey, what's going on?
That's the town's defense mechanism.
Who dat? Who dat?
And whenever he makes suspicious jokes, he
Yuffie.
makes them actually dirty.
Look out!
I mean, those are the best, not gonna lie. Euphemisms and double entendres are the best. Thunder Lewis, greetings and welcome to the stream, bud. How you doing tonight?
Hello.
Bonjour.
And even in public chats.
I am doing good, you.
I'm doing alright, thank you. Even in public chats. Yeah, I try to at least be, relatively professional in public chats. But, on stream, that's a different story. Oh, nice save, Donald. Oh, I just about got hit.
Hey, you guys! I see you're still in top form.
Hey, thanks for the assist, Goofy.
Looks like you're doing okay.
Well, what did you expect?
How are the others?
Great!
I try to be professional all the time, like I said, it's automatic thing for me.
Nope.
Right?
But I had a feeling I'd see you guys again.
We may never meet again, but we'll never forget each other.
Is that supposed to be Leon?
Everybody's working on stuff over at Merlin's house. Come on.
I don't know how to be unprofessional.
It's easy. Just use a lot of slurs and, cuss words and stuff. Don't recommend. I'm not a fan of. Not a fan of the whole slur thing. Aside from slurring my words.
It's like a pre-belt in my mind.
Well, that's probably a good thing. Have your own built-in censorship. Aranviti, greetings and welcome to the stream. How you doing today, bud? To be honest, I have very little idea what's going on right now in the game. I'm just kind of following the path and calling it good. And I haven't died, so I guess that's a good thing, right? Suppose that means I'm doing all wrong.
That's also why I'm so unused to you, too.
Wait, which part? Timuta or Termuta, greetings. Ah. Yeah, I like to think I'm relatively professional. It's just within the stream, not so much. That's weird to think. I certainly don't think of myself. I can tell you that.
I'm just not used to it, lol.
Fair enough. Okay, I wonder if that's Merlin's house with the giant fucking weird roof thing? Yes. There we go. That's Sid. Or supposed to be Sid.
The Hollow Bastion Restoration Committee.
We missed you.
Well, if you ain't in top shape.
Ooh.
I knew it.
They did Sid dirty in this one.
A while back, everyone suddenly remembered you guys, all at the same time.
But Die 1X is a different story, lol.
Really?
So where have you
How's
guys
that?
been all this time?
We were sleeping.
Where? In cold storage?
Yes. Old storage, indeed.
It doesn't matter. This is great. Everyone's together again.
So, we're trying to find
He is
Riku and King.
childish.
Have you seen him?
I gotcha.
Right.
Sorry, but let us know if there's anything we can do to help, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I've never been a huge fan of Aerith, whatever her name is. Like, even from Final Fantasy VII.
A big problem.
You mean like nobodies and heartless?
That's right.
Raynita, greetings. Welcome to the stream. How you doing today?
Sora, Donald, Goofy, we were hoping the three of you might give us a hand around here.
Like we're gonna say no?
I forgot who I'm dealing with.
Hi, what do you mean by that? Just think of it as a sort of Leon compliment.
AVGN, greetings. How's it going, bud? Welcome to the stream.
Follow me to the Bailey. There's something you need to see.
I don't know what the Bailey is, but I don't know if I want to see that either.
I thought it was you. Right on time. It's
No, it's not.
Sora,
I
the
have
gang
to
said they're
fix
gonna help
something in your Discord
Splendid.
server.
We'll count on
Oh,
you.
really? What happened?
Right. Ah, yes.
Oh, what the deal is? I don't
Dear?
know if I just don't get notifications from stuff changing or what.
Here. They're presents for you. Leon thought you might like to have them.
Shell, greetings. How's it going?
Hollow Bastion Restoration Committee honorary member.
How the hell did you make those already?
Kinda cool, huh?
And also, what's the barcode or the swipe code for? Am I supposed to, like, go to a ID reader or something?
We're supposed to be at the Bailey.
Notify me bot notification is not notificating us you're live on TikTok.
Oh, gotcha. Now, what am I to do with you? I suppose I'll have to lend you a few spells, but be careful with them. Set. Ooh, I can do a Goofy. Do the Bailey at once. No, terrible. Maybe I can't do Goofy either. Blizzard.
Any questions?
No, not yet. Don't worry, I will ask as soon as I've got one. But when I have one, there's 100 more to follow.
I mean, I could start yapping about Discord and then give you ideas for questions law.
True. Greetings, Black Flash. Welcome to the stream, bud. How you doing tonight? Want more to drink? Trying to decide if that's wise or not. It is definitely not wise, but
Look at that.
trying to decide if I should disregard the wisdom or not. Loud. That is no bueno.
We want to restore Hollow Bastion to what it used to be. Who knows? Maybe even something better.
Do
There's
you want
still
to
a
know a
lot to
fun
do.
fact?
I
But I'm
always
sure we
want to
can
know
handle
fun
everything.
facts. Fun
Except
facts are fun.
for that. And that.
Goose Wizard, are you still here or are you lurking? If you're lurking, it's totally okay.
Well, that's
Discord
good
I've
to
set up is
hear.
the age verification bot.
So, Sora.
Really?
Do you know what's going on then?
I mean, I can
This
believe
guy,
that.
Pete, who's been going around plotting with the Heartless. But he's not smart enough to tie his own shoes. The ones we need to worry about are the nobodies.
Hambo's Organization 13 guys in charge, too.
You called?
Your mother, greetings and welcome to the stream, bud. How you doing?
You're doing well.
Who's that?
This calls
Mom.
for a celebration.
Hill Diver, greetings, welcome to the stream, bud. How's democracy going? Why did I lose my party members? Milkman! Hi, Dad. How's it going, bud? Welcome to the stream.
but I guess any Discord bot with a dashboard can technically be difficult setup thing.
True. That's why you get the big bucks. Defeat all the nobodies while protecting the gas.
You want to know another fun fact?
Always.
You're not the first one who's paid me a lot of money, lol.
Oh, that's alright. Well, that's as it should be. Should be getting paid a lot. I don't know why I keep expecting it to pause when I change enemies. What game am I? Oh, KOTOR. That's what I'm thinking it does that.
Hey, I don't expect money at all.
Yeah, that's alright. You deserve it. Yay, magic. Or magic increased and defense increased. Even better.
But this one dude I helped with a Discord server and a Minecraft server for free.
Yeah.
But it did go good until we lost contact and then we never talked after that.
Oh, I gotcha. DJ, welcome to the stream. How's it going, bud? Is he still up and running?
The Keyblade, a truly marvelous weapon.
Marvelous.
I don't know.
Gotcha.
Show yourselves.
Always wanted one of those cloaks.
I mean, the Minecraft
Like the coolest
server
shit.
is still up and running.
I gotcha.
Organization 13. Good. Now we can settle this.
What a shame. And here I thought we could be friends.
Stop! What's the big idea?
Oopsie daisy.
Stop in the name of lol.
Now, do you think
Never.
that's polite? Shutting me down like that?
I am
Said
the
get
law.
out of the way.
As if. You can talk all you want, but that won't change a thing.
Then we are gonna make you move.
See, that would work if I were just any old dude. Except I'm not. I'm with the organization. Nothing any old about me.
Huh. Tough talk for someone who stood on the sidelines while his nobody flunkies did the fighting.
Oh dear. I think you got the wrong impression.
Did you,
You
know
gonna
the
cry?
original purpose of YouTube
As
is supposed
if.
to be a dating app?
Why don't I remind you
Really?
how tough the crowd you're dealing with really
I'd
is?
never
Remind
thought
me.
about that. Or never thought that.
That's right. He used to give me that same exact look.
I guess you think you can psych me
It
out
would
by
be
saying
where
really
you can
random
send
stuff.
videos or something like that.
Gee,
Huh.
I just don't know. You good boy now?
I just remember back in the day, it was just random videos, no ads, and absolute chaos and anarchy. It was great.
Another fun fact. Did you know you can look up the very first video on YouTube?
Really?
Oh, I think he was just trying to confuse you.
Yeah, you're right. Only one me.
You just look up, like, the
Hollow
first
Bastion
YouTube video,
Restoration Committee
like,
honorary
quote,
member.
Wow.
Huh?
What's this?
What's this? What's this? Tyler, greetings and welcome to the stream. How's it going, bud? How you doing today?
Oh, now I get it. That must have been the gate Yen Sid talked about. Sorry to run, Leon, but other worlds are calling.
Organization 13. They
A
look
bunch
tough.
of muck.
Be careful out there.
See you soon.
It's 20
See,
years old.
Mulan and Jace. It's hard to believe it's that old. I remember it like it was yesterday. Oh, jeez.
Send it to you. It's only 19 seconds.
Hey, sounds like my love life.
It's called me at the zoo.
Really? Oh.
And you can tell it was 20 years ago because of the quality log.
Right?
Are you 67 long?
I am fairly close to 67. About halfway there, almost.
Did you know if you take care of your body very well, you can last up to 100?
I gotcha. I have very little hope of that, but fair. I'm positive I will die long before then. We'll see.
It's very extremely rare, but it happened.
Pills.
Right.
GTG, good night.
All right, bud. I hope you have a great one. Take care. Have a fabulous rest of your day.
Unless you want me to give you some more company for a bit longer.
I mean, I'm always happy to have the company. What? I understand if you gotta sleep. AC Jones, greetings and welcome to the stream, bud. How's it going? And Stephen Maxwell, welcome.
Besides, I'm doing testing tomorrow. That's completely out of my learning range.
Oh, really? RPG Troll, greetings and welcome to the stream. How's it going, bud? Oh, no, not editor. No. Oh.
Testing called ISASP testing?
No, I don't think I've heard of it. Is it still on, like, Discord stuff, or is that regarding something else?
Let's go!
Let's go.
ESOP testing is out of my learning range, but I still have to deal with it.
Oh, hell yeah.
How's your family?
Ah, so far so good. Just all of them are asleep except for me.
That's good.
How about you?
Okay, I guess.
Yeah? How are they doing since the funeral and all that?
I do not know.
Gotcha. Yeah, sometimes it can be really difficult to relate to other people's griefs. Grief. Greetings, welcome, Data Man. How you doing, bud? Yay! It's whatever this place is. Oh, Beast's Gate. Oh, yes, it's hurting.
I still hate when people think I'm cold.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Well, what can you do, right? All you can do is what you know.
It's not my fault. I possess motions differently.
Yeah, I agree. Different people grieve differently. All there is to it. Hey, Haunted Games, thank you for the heart, me bud. How you doing tonight?
And I don't know if I'm going to have a family in the future.
Like a family of your own or continuing relation with your family? And not a lot on it, just chilling, playing some Kingdom Hearts 2.
Give my own.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, it's, I don't know, it's an experience having a family of your own. Definitely not for the weak-willed, I can tell you that.
I appreciate you coming into my stream, Suri, if I was raging.
Oh, you're good, bud. Shit, it's your stream. You rage however you want.
It just mostly depends if I'm going to have a wife or a husband in the future.
Oh, gotcha. That's it. Wow. I hate it when it can't be symmetrical. Like, it's supposed to be a 2x2, just like the cockpit is.
Oh yeah, didn't I not tell you I am bi?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, I forgot if I did or didn't lol.
No worries, you're good.
I also have to be careful about talking about that.
Really? Why is that? Oathless, welcome back, bud. How you doing? And Train Man Gage. How's it going, bud?
Popcorn.
Popcorn? Pop motherfucker. Yeah, I never did hear your answer. How's the new job going for you, Oathless? Still doing okay?
To the other chat to tell you.
Oh, gotcha.
Good love it so far.
Good. I'm glad to hear it, bud.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
Star Fox FR.
Huh. Right? Thunder.
look at the other chat.
Un momento, por favor. Once I get done with this flying dealio. Oh shit. Oh shit, I'm supposed to be shooting those.
But that's why I have to be careful talking about that.
Yeah, gotcha. Oh. You send that on Discord or something else? I don't have anything from you. Last thing I have is the YouTube video. Oh, duh. Dude. They're not getting hate speech to work. Oh, gotcha. Oh, I forget that one doesn't talk to me. Falcon, level 1. Falcon, level 2.
Lol.
Jay Nesbitt, greetings and welcome to the stream, bud. How you doing today? Muhlan. Yes, Beast. I do love the bestiality. I mean, the Beast missions. I mean, the Beast
But I'm
plan.
getting to the point where I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I think it becomes a little bit easier once you get older. There's not quite as much stigma.
Hey, what is this place?
Dude, it changes a lot once you get out of high school.
Gloomy, don't you think?
It happens to me.
I wonder who lives here.
I believe it.
Hey, does anybody else recognize that?
No,
Hey,
it mostly happens
that's
online.
the Beast.
Oh, I gotcha.
Maybe we should check.
That's stupid. I don't get it.
Look.
Just never understood prejudice of any kind in general. Like, I know that's kind of cliche to say for, you know, the super positive streamers or people in general, but I just never understood it. Whether it's race, religion, or orientation, it just doesn't make sense to me. Why can't you just let people be happy, you know? Shep, greetings and welcome to the stream. How's it going?
Where did he go? What?
Whoa.
And my mom and my stepdad and my stepsisters and my sister knows that I'm bi.
Oh, but at least you don't have to feel like you hide it from them. That's a huge difference. I know when I was in high school, that was something I had to keep the biggest secret because I was raised in a really strict Christian household, so like that would have been, oh, you're disowned kind of thing.
But my family members are religious people.
I know that feeling. Huh.
Oh, come on, enough already.
I wouldn't say Christian people, not many Christians love me or my community.
Mm-hmm. Well, not many Christians follow the true Christian doctrine, which is love thy neighbor as thyself. Love thine enemy.
Just in time.
But they are completely confusing.
Agreed. Say they're all about love and following God, but they're the most opposite of that as possible. Which sucks.
Gee, do you think he maybe forgot who we are?
With this many heartless around,
Because in the
something
Bible it
must
is
be
told
up.
that they have to be nice, but 80% of that community isn't.
Yeah, agreed. Which is a shame. They've forgotten the true meaning of the doctrine.
I just don't know at this point.
But a lot of people also ask me what is bi or what is gay or stuff like that.
Really? That's kind of surprising in this day and age.
Agree.
I figure pretty much everybody's aware of all of that.
But then have the people who find out what it is becomes mad at me.
Because not just Christian people, a lot of normal people think it's disgusting or something.
That's weird. Not that, but them.
Welcome to 2026.
Yeah. Everything's ass backwards, and yeah, that's about it.
And I also hear the other F word a lot of the times, especially in school.
That's annoying. I always used the, I am not a bundle of sticks or a cigarette. What do you mean? That F word.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, not back to the bar. Damn it.
They use that F word like it means nothing.
That's stupid. Ugh. Alright. I think I'm gonna switch games for a little bit, because I am getting a little bit worn out from this one. Bear with me just a minute. I'll be right back. Well, actually, I'm gonna, in fact, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna go to the restroom, get a drink, and switch games. It'll give me just a couple minutes. I'll be back shortly. Hey, Haunted Games, welcome back. Sorry, just getting back from bathroom and drink break. Trying to decide on another game to play for a little bit here. Kind of got tired of Kingdom Hearts. What you up to today, bud? Sorry, that's kind of automatic. I know what you've been up to. Been playing your game. God of War. And stream. I guess. How are you feeling at present? There we go. Just loading up Steam real quick here, seeing if there's any. No! Oh, I lost a part of my route. Okay.
Back.
I'm a cry. Welcome back, clone. I dropped a part of my new brownie. I'm sad. Big ass chunk. Let's see. Maybe back to Graveyard Keeper for a little bit.
One member have recently left for unknown reasons on Guy 1X's Discord server.
Oh, really? Yeah. It happens. I figure maybe it's just, you're a part of too many different servers. You have to leave one to join this new one. I seem to have the issue where people just, I don't know, I'm guessing just get bored of my streams because they just start showing up or stop showing up.
Unknown reasons. He's contacted the person and he hasn't heard anything back.
Gotcha. Huh. I don't know what that's about.
I don't know if the Discord server is good for that person or what.
Yeah. I mean, not everybody can be happy all the time. No way to please everyone. What? Play.
Because of the Discord server isn't good, that means I didn't do a good job.
I mean, shit, it's super active, so I think you do a pretty good job. Honestly, like you said, it's probably just not their fit. Can't make everyone happy.
Didn't leave because of the Discord.
I doubt it. I mean, the way I always look at it is, I mean, it takes a lot more effort to go through and leave or unfollow or whatever than it does to just simply kind of ghost it and just not show up. So usually if they left, there's a reason, as far as they're following too many servers or that, or somebody really pissed them off, one of the two. Generally, if somebody pissed them off, they'd say so. People are very vocal, it turns out. Sorry, gotta update all of my stream info. I hate how it minimizes the game window just to do that. That's annoying. What? Oh, almost done.
I don't know. I usually keep that kind of stuff in my head, and I'm usually afraid it is because.
Carlo, greetings and welcome to the stream. How's it going, bud? I wouldn't worry about it. Like I said, you can't make everybody happy. Somebody's always going to have one thing that they
So I
don't
hope.
It's taken me, how old am I? Taking me a long time to figure that out. Like, it's easy enough to say, but you really can't just make everybody happy. I'd always considered myself to be super easy to get along with and likable and make friends with everybody kind of person. But, you know, there's just one or two people, like at work, staff I'm talking about.
But the strange thing is the person seemed to enjoy the Discord server.
I don't know. I mean, shit, that's probably like followers I've got. You know, they start out saying, "Oh yeah, I'm here forever, man. You're awesome. I love you," and then they just kind of disappear after a dozen streams or something. I don't get it either. I'm still trying to wrap my head around why I keep losing, you know, people that have been consistently following me. Just start showing up less and less, and then just disappear. Like our mutual friend that you got along with for a little while there. I don't know if you two are still affiliated, but like him, or I don't know. There's a good handful, but nothing I can do about it.
The name.
I'll be honest, I can't even remember his name. Shit, sorry. We'll blame it on drinking too much. I can't remember his name. I apologize. But the person you got to know for a little while there. Azil, that's it. Azil Savos. Don't tell him I couldn't remember his name.
We are still talking.
Good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Oh, yeah. And not that I'm mad at him or blaming him or anything. I get it happens. But, you know, good follower for a while and then just kind of vanished on me. But, you know, it is what it is. I don't, you know, strike your fancy. I mean, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
There's actually a reason for that. He told me.
Oh, really? Wait, did I say or do something? Oh, fuck. I hope I didn't say or do something. That's one of the worst parts, too, is when people randomly stop showing up. You can't just ask them, hey, did I fuck up? I mean, what happened, man? That kind of thing. I mean, his reasons are his own, but I'm not trying to, like, invade his privacy or anything, but I mean, if I did something, I'd like to know just so I could try to fix it.
He still loves you, he is just busy, or same thing for me. You live stream at a late time.
Oh, I gotcha. Well, that's alright. At least it's not something I, like, directly did or anything. I'm over here like, oh fuck, I hope I didn't say something that offended him. Or, you know, given his history and my profession, you know, I hope nothing came about because of that. I think about him every once in a while. Yeah, just wonder what happened to him. But I'm glad you guys are still talking. That's good.
He also doesn't join because of one of the members.
Gotcha. And I knew, or believe I know, who you're talking about. Same one you have, or the same one that has issues with you, I should say.
The same one I have issues with.
Understood. That's another shitty thing about trying to be liked by everybody is trying to figure out how to appease everybody at the same time. You know, certain people don't get along with each other, and for good reason in some cases, like in your case, good reason you don't get along with him.
That person doesn't stay for long because of me.
And I still say that's just fine. If that person doesn't want to stay because you're here, sucks for them. They're missing out. Still welcome their company and, talking to them every once in a while, but I mean, I'd rather talk to somebody who's respectful and chill and
still apologies for that.
never apologize, bud. You're perfectly fine. I consider that a character flaw for someone else, not you. Not good with keyboard and mouse. But hey, if you talk to him again soon, just let him know I said hi and miss him, and hope everything's going well. And again, I definitely am not upset or anything that he isn't able to come by. I totally understand.
So tomorrow? Lol.
Yeah, right? Wait, tomorrow for the chatting with that person, our mutual friend? Ah. Okay. Take long to try to angle that perfectly and bring it over. Stone. Just want to have a good time.
Me and him, we talk on a daily basis.
Good. So do you just talk, or do you talk? If you take my meaning. Because before he stopped coming around, I know there was
I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that.
Uh-huh. That's what I thought. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Say no more. Gotcha. Little Monty Python reference for you. Hey, Haunted, welcome back, and thank you for the heart me and, geez, all the co-populars, man.
I am still going to pretend I didn't hear that.
For propriety's sake, I understand. Yay, you sent a mini-me, modder-me, mini-me, mini-me, modder-me, mini-me. Thank you, sir. I don't know why that's fun to try to say, though. Like a tongue twister. Believe me, I'm good at tongue twisters.
Just so my sleeping self doesn't have to deal with any dreams.
Uh-huh.
I love those emotes.
Well, thanks. I worked hard on them. Gotta get yourself Canva. The base mode is free, but then if you get Canva Pro, it's got obviously a lot more free features. I can, but the ones I don't have Canva Pro anymore, so I can't like do background removal or anything. So it's gonna have like the modern me one, the white background, or I could do color. But yeah, I could do something like that. Just message me kind of the idea of what you're looking for, and I will do what I can.
I have free premium on Canva.
Oh yeah, you said you got.
So you could keep saying sorry. Sorry, I stutter.
Yeah, you said you got free premium on Canva for school. Love it.
Because one of my classes I took gave to me free premium on Canva.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I wish all of everything you have to pay to subscribe to wasn't the same price or higher. Like everything's like $15 or more.
Bro, why did it sound like that, lol?
It sounded like that because you touch yourself in haunted games. Can't help it. That's just how it is. Them's the rules.
Well, to be exact, student premium, but pretty much everything on Canvas is student premium.
Hell yeah. I enjoyed it. I don't know. I wish you could do more with it. Like as far as like the actual art and all that. Like, I don't know, like an actual art or drawing app. Granted, I can't draw from shit, so it's not like it would be useful to me. But, you know, it's the principle of the thing. Just want the option. Not that I'd use it, but. I'm all out of love, so lost without you.
Meow.
Hey, thank you for the paper crane too, bud. I'm a beautiful bird. I fly across the blue sky with my flappy wings. And I am majestic as fuck.
Pink just for you.
Oh yeah. Which is funny, because on my side it comes up as... Which is great, because I love blue. I like blue. Bitches love blue.
Ew.
Hey, Becky, you want some blue? You want some fog? Let me smash.
Look at your DMs.
Oh, you made some new ones too. Ooh, I like the skull and then the purple
Those
X.
are old.
Oh, really? I haven't seen those ones. I've seen the two of you. I like the blue and red skull, like blue and red background skull, and the purple X one. Where is the iron ore? I need it.
I can make you a profile picture.
Oh, that's all right. I'm good on the profile picture. I like making my own stuff. I just need to get Canva Pro again.
Okay.
Thank you, though. Appreciate it. Oh, is that nice, kitty? Am I scritching the red spots? Oh, Yes, I love it. I must wipe my butthole on the surface. It's very soothing to me.
But I usually design my own stuff.
Me too. It's cool. It kind of gives me a sense of like accomplishment. Even though I suck at art, at least with Canva, I can kind of do a little bit. Enough to make me feel valuable. Mining. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Dig, dig a hole. Dig, dig a hole. I am a dwarf and digging a hole. And now I'm gonna get attacked by bats. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. No. Zoop.
Color
Zoop.
code number 8000FF and hash FFB0F9 is good together.
Do you remember the like? Are you able to match the color code and the actual color in your mind?
I am having the new ice cream Coca-Cola.
There's an ice cream Coca-Cola. I haven't heard of that. How is it? What?
It tastes so good, bro.
I got that creamy soda, if you know what I mean. For you, bro.
Oh yes, Pookie.
Safe! Greetings! Welcome to... Pardon me. Welcome to the stream, and...
Yo, what's up?
Thank you for the flans? Not much, bud. How you doing? Just got done with Kingdom Hearts 2 for a little while ago. And now I'm playing some Graveyard Keeper just to chill out. And...
Misinput on the cakes, haha.
Oh, they're cakes? Cool. Ooh. Down the wrong tube. Ooh. Good. So smooth.
I sent you something again.
Swear if it's a dick pic again, I'm writing a letter.
Haha, cough thou, cuz.
Oh, that's smart. Hey, thank you for the You're Awesomes, man.
Meow.
Molto bene. Grazie. You're awesome. What I put the prayer in? Where are you leaving, kitty? Keeping me warm.
Is it a bad
Back
thing
over here.
that I love deep voices?
No, I think that's a pretty normal thing to be attracted to. If I ever hear one, I'll let you know.
Like you know those guys that can make the voice very deep and handsome.
Ah, gotcha. Ooh. Oh, Hoist the colors high. I can't. I used to be able to go super low, but I kind of got out of practice.
Your super fan stickers are fire.
Hell yeah. Thank you. Are you a super fan already?
No.
Oh, gotcha. I was gonna say, damn, I didn't even know you subscribed. Shit. Apologies. But good, I feel slightly less bad.
So I'm daydreaming lol.
Yes. Daydream. That's it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Lol, you're good. They're expensive AF.
Yeah, the whole subscription thing in general is just ridiculous to me. Like, it's awesome in theory, but fuck's sake. Really want me to spend how much just to show one person I think they're cool?
$10 is crazy. Why?
Right? Like, the only subscriptions I've done are, like, gifted. Like, I wish I could, justify more, but fuck's sake.
I just enjoy daydreaming about handsome guys and cute girls, lol.
Oh, man, I don't blame you there, clone. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, I did not want to take all 1,000 of those. 1,000 carrots. It's 2, 4. It's 4 bodies. Imagine starting out a conversation with somebody like, yeah, the other day I gave 20 carrots and got 4 bodies out of it. What? You did what now? Hey, thank you for the GGs, bud. Haunted, if you ever start, like, before I start streaming, or even after I end streaming sometime on TikTok, anyway.
Did you know if you hide a body
I will
below and you hide
absolutely
you can hide it.
give some gifts. Like I mentioned on Purple app, it doesn't let you join other lives if you're already live yourself. Otherwise, I would, I promise. Yeah, I'd heard that before, clone. I wonder if it's really true, though, because I feel like
I know, bro,
scent
but I work
hounds.
nights, wolf sucks, lol.
I hear you there, man.
Because a such dog will just smell the animal dead body, not the human dead body.
Jeez.
I work 3 to 11.
Man. I've done night shift like twice, and I was not a fan. Facebook. That's how I find out about most of it.
And plus I get bathrooms in classrooms and a lot of carpets, sheesh.
Oh, jeez. That would be a lot. So you should do, like, I'm sure your workplace has similar rules as far as not recording.
Rooms a night I gotta clean.
But it'd be kind of cool if you did like not a live, but just videos of hey, here's what I got to do tonight. Like, kind of show your work process and stuff like that. I'm sure you'd probably get in trouble for posting videos about your but if you didn't, that would be cool.
I was thinking of it.
Does your work have any policies in place about stuff like
I can't
that?
get in trouble for posting things about my workspace.
I was going to say, you work for yourself. You're safe, clone. At least for the most part, anyway.
I'll probably get in trouble.
Oh, that sucks. Dude, I wish I could do videos about my job. Like, just the random shit I have to listen
I have to work tomorrow and then the day after.
I gotcha. What do you do for a day job? Aside from, like, Discord stuff. Hey, thank you for the tiny bunny, man.
Meow.
Meow. Ooh.
Meow.
And the 10 creepers and friendship necklace and heart puffs. Oh.
Remember, I do dishes at my school.
Oh, that's right. I remember you mentioning that time. Got a horrendous memory, but once you prompt me, I'm like, oh yeah, I got that. So smooth.
That deep meowing is making me think of things, lol.
Hell yeah. Oooh, notice his bulge. What's this?
Lol.
You play guitar.
I attempt to play guitar. So I've got like 6 different instruments. I can play notes on them. My downside is I can't make my fingers move fast enough to play actual songs.
I see you have a guitar, just curious.
Yeah. I got a new strap for it the other day, so I figured I'd put it on display there. But now I've got the guitar, I've got concertina, which is like...
Can I tell you a little secret and a fun fact at the same time?
Absolutely. Concertina, which is like the, I think, pirate accordion. So it's like probably the handholds are this big.
Lol JK.
And then I've got a full-size accordion. Got a piano and a clarinet. What else do I have? Got a duduk, which is an Armenian, kind of like the clarinet. Makes more of a humming sound than a clarinet sound, though. One other thing. What do I have? Tell how often I actually play.
One of my friends and I look up pictures of muscular motorcycle guys, lol.
Nice. I miss my motorcycle. I've had 2 different ones so far. Sold my last one last year to try to pay off some debt. Kinda worked. Sort of. Although I don't have the muscles, but, you know, motorcycle, I'm halfway there. Or was. Now.
And oh my.
Oh my. But yeah, I love instruments. I just wish I could actually play them well. I've got that one flavor of ADHD where you feel like you should just be able to pick up any instrument and just be immediately able to play it perfect. Which I'm good at picking out single notes. Like, really good. I can play out the melody of a song. But when it comes to chords and playing fast or normal speed, it's not so great. Jesus, this guy's suck. But a lot of red skulls.
And I do love some of the benefits of being bi.
Right? Hear you there. There's a good handful, if you know what I mean. Ooh, there you go.
You can probably guess a few, but me and the girls can daydream vibes.
Right? I hear you. Hey, Haunted, how long have you worked at that particular type of job? If you don't mind me asking.
But I'm mostly going to the direction of guys because let's just say I've had bad experience with
Girls.
I mean, that's fair. Which is kind of surprising. Usually it tends to be the other way around. But, I mean, shit. You like what you like. That's all that matters. At least you know what you like. I need a technology to chop down a tree. Because that makes sense.
I mean, I've had bad experiences with both sides, but mostly girls.
Gotcha. I feel like they're just so hard to read and figure out, what they actually want or mean. And the moods change so fast. It's...
Do you want to know
Oh,
a
man.
fun fact about autistic people?
Sure.
Did you know autistic people have a high chance of being a part of the LGBTQ+?
Really? That's good. I guess that's kind of surprising. Well, maybe not so much, because considering autistic people have, the inclination to stick with what they know, I guess that does make sense. Huh. I guess I just never really thought about it.
It's mainly because of our love, emotion, and other stuff.
Gotcha.
So if I have to explain myself in 2 words, it would be autistic by law.
Fair enough. At least you know what you like and know what you are. Sometimes knowing that much, having an identifier is enough. Stuff like that made a huge difference for me. Barry, greetings and welcome to the stream, bud. How you doing tonight?
The thing is, I myself knew I was bi way before, but then my mental health catched up.
Gotcha. Six, 3, and 10. Oh no! Get back! Go.
because right now my mental health is like a teenager or a younger kid.
Oh, I see.
GTG.
All right, bud. Well, I thank you for stopping by and chatting and hanging out. I hope you have a great night, bud.
Cream of sun, young guy.
How did you know?
Stay handsome and see you tomorrow.
All right, see you tomorrow, clone. Have a great night, and see you again soon, bud. So bad with remembering how to go about this place.
And then there were one.
Yeah. And then there was one. How long have you been at your job, Haunted?
I've been at my job for 8 years. I've been a custodian in Florida for 4 years.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I have experience.
Right on. What are your dream jobs? What would you really like to do? Or is this what you really like to do?
I would love to be a head custodian.
Really? Okay. It's pretty interesting. Pardon me. Sorry, I'm just drunk enough I can't word right. That is interesting. What do you find you like most about the job? Clone, welcome back. Forget something? Did you leave your wallet
You
again?
can make yourself numb without numbing medicine. The benefits.
Benefits. Oh, yeah, benefits are always good. How do you make yourself numb without numbing medicine? I'm interested. Or science.
yourself half tired, half awake.
Okay. Fair enough. Cedric Rock, greetings and welcome to the stream, bud. How you doing?
But if you are not used to doing that, I don't suggest doing.
Okay. And I'm definitely used to being half tired, half awake. Generally, I tend to get like 4 hours of sleep a night. So it's not pleasant, but it's definitely custom at this point.
Because if you do it incorrectly, you will pass out from exhaustion.
I gotcha.
What do you have to use for Purple app?
What do you mean? What do I have to use for Purple app? Like to multi-stream?
What studio?
Oh, so I use OBS Studio.
But I've been doing it for a long time to know my feeling and my emotions.
I got you, clone. So for TikTok, basically everything on display right now is just the virtual camera from OBS. So OBS is not actually sending anything to TikTok. It's strictly sending everything to Twit. Well, Purple app, whatever. But then I'm on TikTok. I use add source and just add camera as the source, and then choose the virtual camera from OBS.
Can you help me out with that Purple app?
I know very little about the Purple app, but I will do my best. Just shoot me a message on Discord with whatever questions you got, and I'll be happy to tell you what little I know.
Appreciate it, Ty.
Absolutely, always, bud. FTR? FTR. Yeah, there we go. Let's go with that. How's it going, bud? Welcome to the stream. Tried to go like Assassin's Creed off TR. Off Tyre. Whatever.
I just don't know what to do.
Yeah. Sadly, that's kind of part of growing too. It'll just kind of happen. Like you don't actually figure it out. It just kind of, you hit the point where you're like, whatever, and then it just works magically from there.
Kick?
I would, but so right now.
Sleep, but you're so addictive to watch LOL.
Well, thank you, clone. I'm sorry to keep you awake, but I'm also not sorry. So right now I'm using Restream. So instead of going directly to Twit, Purple app, fuck ever, I'm using Restream, which with the free subscription allows you to do 2 apps. So I'm doing Purple and Red, and then I'm using the virtual camera for TikTok. So I'm hitting 3, but I unless I do this subscription thing, I can't do Gig as well. Sorry, I couldn't think of the name. I kind of gave up on Twitch Kick for now, but I don't know. Maybe someday if I get a lot of extra money, I might buy the subscription and do Kick as well.
That's what's up.
Yeah. don't know. I'd like to. There's got to be a better way to multi-stream to a bunch of different sources at once. I just can't figure out what it is. Then again, I'm not as computer savvy as I used to be.
GTG.
Right on, clone. Hope you have a great night again, and good luck tomorrow. Take it easy and stay safe, bud. Oh shit, I need to get my honeycomb. Honeycomb, won't you be my baby? Oh, honeycomb, be my own. Well, it's a damn good life if you got a wife. Honeycomb. The honeycomb? Oh my gosh, allergies. Dying over here. On games, what are some of your favorite stories to tell? Like about things that you've experienced or seen? What are some of your favorite things to talk about? Doesn't have to be related to anything.
I asked to go to the cities back then.
Cities? Okay. Which cities and back when?
Yeah, like Newark, Trenton back when the cities were safe.
Oh, okay. Rainita, greetings and welcome back to the stream. How's it going? So what'd you used to do back in Newark and Trenton?
Halloween and the foods were really good.
Really? What kind of foods did you like?
Yeah, my mother asked to take me out a lot Jersey pizza.
Ooh, that'd be nice. Only time I've ever been to Jersey was just driving through. I took the Lewis to Cape May ferry just one time, and that was about it. Just kind of drove through the countryside to get back to New Delaware. I had family up there that I was staying with for a week or so at the time.
Cape May is beautiful.
Agreed. I went in the off season too, so the downside was most of the places were closed. Upside was there's no tourists. think I went in April or March or something one year. Oh. Yeah.
I live in a conservative town which is more safe than the city's law.
Yeah, I hear you there. I am in I would go as far to say as podunk town. So, as long as you're not, a different skin complexion or, different religion or sexuality or anything, it's a lot safer. Rex, greetings. Welcome to the stream, bud. How you doing?
Yeah, there was a KKK memorial ground when they built the high school.
Oh, shit. Damn. I don't know if we even had something like that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but damn.
Bro, there's a lot of history in New Jersey.
True. That'd be kind of cool. I'd like to learn more about that. I love history and learning about that kind of shit. Jonathan, greetings and welcome to the stream. How's it going?
And the Grand Wizard has to live by the high school.
Really? Makes me think of what was it? David Byron, whatever song. The Clan Cookout.
Yep, people tell me a lot of weird stories.
Really? What are some of the weird stories you've heard? If you can think of any on the spot.
Sorry I had to text someone, lol.
Oh, you're good. I just asked, what are some of the more unique stories you've heard?
Oh, like Pew Pew and KKK stories, lol.
I gotcha. What's the most interesting one? I mean, even whether it's those kind of stories or just something you find super interesting that you've heard for your area. I always like local folklore kind of stuff.
A lot of corruption here, and we're a lot in debt.
Gotcha. Sadly, that seems to be fairly common nowadays, especially the corruption part and the debt part. By the way, Haunted, thank you very much for 4K likes. I appreciate you, man. All the hard work.
NP bro. I appreciate being here.
Well, appreciate having you. It's always a huge blessing having somebody at least to talk to. Gifts are a bonus, but I, at the very least, appreciate having people to talk to. Makes it all worthwhile, you know? Seems like, kind of like you feel a lot of the time. I mean, it's almost a daily thing of, man, why the fuck do I even bother doing this, you know? Orwin greetings and welcome to the stream, bud. How you doing, bud? But it's for the handful of people that I actually get to talk to and enjoy, such as yourself.
Ty bro.
Absolutely. Well, no, shit. Thank you. Truly. It is. I mean, that's the only thing that keeps me streaming is people like yourself that keep hanging out. And just people to
If you
talk
need to
to.
talk, I am here.
I appreciate it. Honestly, it's just a bunch of pissing and moaning about, man, why don't I have more followers? Well, not even followers, but active chats and that kind of shit. Nothing of substance. Just the whole, oh, poor me. Nobody watches me. Why can't I have more friends? I try not to fall too deep into that hole, though. Just gotta remind myself, well, fuck, you're gonna be playing games anyway. You might as well, whether or not you have people to talk to or have fun with, you might as well at least stream it. At least then you have the chance to talk to people. Like, oh, well, that was
Yeah,
premature.
people on here are wild, dude. I don't really go on streams anymore cause they only care about dollar.
Yeah. I mean, the money's nice, but realistically, you know, $1 to $5 a night at very best. Like that's a super extravagantly good night. $5. I mean, that's yeah, nothing. What's $5 a day? But at least having people to talk to it, gives it I don't know, gives it purpose. I mean, maybe if you had like 30 people in a stream all the time or 30 plus, I mean that would be different. But I mean, shit, with low numbers like me, I'm just grateful to have people to talk to. But that being said, sadly, I will have to get off for the night. Work and all that fun, stupid fucking bullshit. But
okay, good night, bro.
Night. But as always, man, thank you so much for hanging. I seriously, genuinely appreciate you. And as always, thank you for being here. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening,